USS Anderson is one of 4 Sims-class destroyers in Task Unit 17.5.2. The Sims class was the last US destroyer class completed before American entry into the war, built under the Second London Naval Treaty. Anderson is armed with 5-inch guns in 4 single mounts. Fire is coordinated by a crew of 6 in the Mark 37 gunfire control system, using a radar that tracks bearing, elevation and range. And she has an SC-1 air search radar system. She also has 8 21-inch torpedo tubes in 2 quadruple mounts, and 2 depth charge racks. Displacing 1,570 tonnes, 3 Babcock and Wilcox boilers power 2 geared steam turbines, producing over 50,000 shaft horsepower to the 2 propeller shafts, giving her a top speed of around 37 knots. Anderson is an experienced anti-submarine warfare ship, having stood so-called neutrality patrols in the Atlantic in 1941. She joined Task Force 17 on the 16th of February 1942.
Romeo, Bulky, Vector 030, 20 miles. Angel Medium.
She has a wartime ship's complement of 16 officers and 235 enlisted sailors, all anxious to get a chance to attack. Anderson would go on to win 10 battle stars in World War II before the retired hull was sunk during nuclear test Able, part of Operation Crossroads, on the 1st of July 1946. But today, she is part of Task Unit 17.5.2, screening Yorktown in an anti-aircraft role. Hello, welcome to McDowell Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we feature a full mission profile of World War II American carrier operations in May 1942, in the demo version of Task Force Admiral. The full mission profile covers a number of phases of battle in separate episodes: launch operations, search operations, combat air patrol, strike planning, defensive operations, and recovery operations. In the last episode, Lieutenant Commander Joe Taylor's Devastator torpedo bombers launched attacks on the Shokaku, but to no effect. And 6 Dauntless dive bombers of the original 12 were lost to the Japanese Zero fighters on combat air patrol. Flatley is returning from combat air patrol and circling to enter the landing pattern on Yorktown. He reduces throttle and makes a starboard pass of the carrier. Confirming the aircraft is spotted forward and the carrier is ready for his return. Upwind leg complete, he banks to port. And enters the downwind leg. Tail hook extended. Gear down. Reduce throttle. Flaps extended. Flatley lines up on the carrier's wake. Final approach. And touchdown on the 5th wire. The crash barriers drop, and he taxis forward. Shorkaku is damaged, but not destroyed. Time for a follow-on strike. "18 SPD-3 Dauntless dive bombers from VS5, each carrying one Mark 13 1,000-pound bomb and two Mark 4 100-pound bombs. Greenlight the mission." As Yorktown begins to engage enemy aircraft. A lone enemy aircraft at Red 30. Almost certainly a scout. According to a message we intercepted, Task Force 17 has been detected by an enemy air search asset. USS New Orleans, CA-32, engages the aircraft with her 5-inch anti-aircraft guns. The sky is filled with black dots. Each one the smoke from the explosion of the 54-pound projectile. On the receiving end of all this firepower, a Nakajima B-5N, Allied reporting name Kate. Carrier-based torpedo bomber in a scout role. The Kate has a spectacular view of Task Force 17. The pilot shakes his head ruefully. If only I had a torpedo now, he thinks. The Kate takes fire from Yorktown's 20mm Oerlikon anti-aircraft cannon. The observer takes detailed sightings of the ships below. And the rear gunner radio operator sends them back to Shorkaku. Busy tapping away at the Morse transmitter on his radio, the operator looks around him and wonders at the explosions, some close enough to feel the blast waves. He looks at the ships below as he taps out the contact reports. The Kate's pilot flies directly for a bank of cloud to escape the fire from the task force. Snooper number 309 is heading southwest, away from the task force at 6 nautical miles range. Also on the radar is a small bogey number 311, 2+ aircraft at 23 nautical miles, and small bogey number 315, 2+ aircraft at 30 nautical miles. possibly the returning dive bombers. The Combat Air Patrol from VF-42 reports engaging the target. Nine Wildcats. Another dive bomber ditched. Only 5 remain from the original 12. Taylor's torpedo bomber formation is unscratched. But the escorting Wildcats have lost one of their number. Remaining defiant in Wildcat number 12 is Lieutenant Commander Charles R. Fenton, commander of Fighter Squadron VF-42. Scott's Combat Air Patrol has located and is engaging the Snooper, a Kate torpedo bomber. Hit and destroyed. The Kate plummets in flames. 9 Wildcats against 1 Kate ends only one way. Spotting on the deck of USS Yorktown. Bracefield from VF-42 leads the next 9-ship Combat Air Patrol, Capital 8. Cromellin in Section 3 readies to take off. Maya is last to take off. With Capcall 8 airborne, spotting begins for the next naval strike package. by 18 SBD-3 Dauntless dive bombers from Air Squadron VS-5. The remaining 5 Dauntless dive bombers from the first strike are returning to Yorktown. As are the 6 torpedo bombers. Plot, in aircraft number 15, part of the 9-ship Combat Air Patrol, has taken a few hits on his port wing and engine cowling. Nothing that won't buff out. In this episode, Yorktown defended against an enemy Snooper, and the Combat Air Patrol shot down the Cape torpedo bomber, but not before it had reported Task Force 17's position back to Shokaku. In the next episode, Yorktown launches another naval strike against Shokaku. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.